People of the Purple Butterfly here, otherwise known as People of Seven on Blue Sky and YouTube, people are elsewhere on the internet. My soaps are located at purplebutterfly-soaps.myshopify.com, my blog, purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com. And batch 2, I am really sure is ready to cut, otherwise this would be a really short video. And I had cut batch 1 and sent a picture, and someone said, I don't get the bacon thing. And that's when it occurred to me, it's a Cincinnati thing. And, well, we do have people that come from out of town to run the Flying Pig Marathon, but a lot of people don't know the history of Cincinnati. Cincinnati is also known as Porkopolis. Back in 1800, when all the stockyards were the main businesses, you know, they used to run the pigs in the streets to the stockyard. And now humans run in the streets dressed as pigs for the Flying Pig Marathon. So, yeah. Besides pork products, we are also a soaping community. The most famous soap maker in the world started out as the St. Bernard Soap Company, which is now known to many people in the world as P&G. So, yeah. Home of Ivory Soap, in case you didn't know. And Crisco oil, or Crisco shortening rather, yeah, I guess you could use the oil too, was a replacement for lard for, you know, soap makers. And then someone discovered that, you know, it's all natural and hey, you can make flaky pie crust with this. And that changed the history of how it was used. But there are still places like in the Navy where they use Crisco shortening as a lubricant because it doesn't harm the environment but still lubricates the parts on the submarines and stuff like that. So, yeah. I would like to thank my history teacher for teaching me that in a way that I can convey it from my brain to you, because I'm 60, I've had a couple of strokes and memory issues, and I remember that. So that's a real good history teacher. Yeah, I need gloves on. Hold on. This is batch 2. It's an in the pot swirl, so it's going to look different from batch 1. And I can't wait to see what it looks like on the inside, because batch 1 was actually supposed to be an in the pot swirl as well, but I did a drop swirl instead and used a hanger tool. That came out looking really, really cute. But this should have all the colors intertwined in a different way, because in the pot swirl swirls the colors before you put it in the mode, and basically after you put the colors in the pot, you simply pour the pot directly into the mode, back and forth, and it gives its own pattern, which is why it's called an in the pot swirl. Well, that seemed to have asked just a little bit. Same recipe, so I don't understand why that happened. But yeah, that's the overflow. So we have a little heart right there. And let's move this out the way right quick. Oh, goodness. I should find a hobby that doesn't make my back hurt. But I love making soap, so that's probably not going to happen. That's what we have right now. Yeah. So the discoloration to yellow now looks tan. What did I knock over? Okay. There we go. It was so much easier than struggling that mold out of the liner. So I'm going to remember that. Feels solid. It's solid. Okie dokie. This is the second bacon themed soap that doesn't actually smell like bacon. It smells kind of sweet with a hint of the bacon, but when you smell it, you don't automatically think bacon. You think, interesting. Oh, excuse me. Now, let me put this over here. And we'll get it cut up. First, let me smooth the edges. That's definitely going to have a different look. I mean, just the aspects of it looks drastically different than the drop swirl did yesterday. Now, let's put this on the cutter. Line it up. And see what we have on the inside. Oh, might have waited too late to cut it, but here we are. Ah. Oh, that's nice. Different than what I was expecting. That's batch 2. I have an idea. I'm thinking of taking batch 1 and batch 2 and listing them separately and let them fight it out as a race. So whatever doesn't sell during the Flying Pig Marathon will get listed as 2 separate listings. The thing I love about in the pot swirls is the shape of the mold causes it to do different things. Like here we have a double whirl. That's all from the shape of the mold. I didn't have to do anything to get that effect except for pour it. This one apparently had started setting up. I almost didn't meet the window of opportunity. So when I went to cut it, it was a little difficult. Yeah. I'm definitely going to have to stamp this as soon as I'm finished. Or it's not going to have a stamp because this is already hard. I probably should have tried to cut it 2 or 3 hours ago. That one looks like a double whirl. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. That smell is intoxicating, actually. Smells almost like a man's cologne. But not, if that makes sense. Here we go. And yes, that was the exact same recipe from yesterday. Same amount of water, same amount of everything, same technique, all of that. The only difference is one is an in-pot swirl and the other was a drop swirl. Yeah. And for some reason my camera seems choppy. I am uploading something, so that might be taking up a lot of the memory, but yeah. Man, it smells good. So what do you think? Does this look more like bacon or the other one look more like bacon? I also apparently didn't use quite enough of the spicy tomato mica because it's not as dark as the other one. I mean, traces of it. Plus, the in the pot swirl technique could have made a difference where it diluted it a little bit, but yeah, it's definitely different. But I'm getting more of a bacon attribute from this than batch 1. Maybe that's just me. There we go. Let me scrub the stamp of all the little soap bits, and then we'll give them a go. Yeah. This might be too hard to stamp, but we're going to try it anyway. Well, that came out perfect. So almost too hard to cut, but perfect for stamping. Gonna have to find that window of opportunity where it's a happy medium. You know, perfect to stamp, perfect to cut. But with lard, you have to be rather diligent about the time, because if you wait too long, you're not going to get the cutter through. If you wait too long, you're definitely not going to make an impression with the stamp. It's like if you let a coconut soap go too long. Okay, it's softer in the middle, but it's alright. remember when I was upset that my other butterfly stamp didn't survive the move. But I'm liking this little one. The other butterfly was 2 inches big. So it literally would take over the butterfly stamp when it was a tall narrow. But yeah, this one is alright. Let's take this a little to the side. Make sure it leaves an impression. There we go. Like I said, almost didn't get the stamp through on a couple of them. And that's the Glazed Maple Bacon Soap Batch 2, otherwise known as the Flying Pig. So this has been P+7 on Twitter. No, this has been P+7 on Blue Sky and YouTube. P elsewhere on the internet. My soaps located at PurpleButterfly-Soaps.myshopify.com. My blog, PurpleButterfly-People.blogspot.com. Y'all stay blessed, stay tuned. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Bye now. A friendly little flyby. Is that gorgeous or what? So, does this say bacon? It does kind of look like bacon that's been curled up just after frying. So, yeah. That's an in the pot swirl. Gorgeous. Smells amazing. So there's your flyby for this soap. Yep, yep. This has been Beepla.